worldwide at the Radisson Hotel in Green Bay. This is Locker Room with Local 5 Sports Director Bert Griffin.
The Packers played tough in the Steel City, but there aren't any moral victories in the NFL. That said, there's no reason for doom and gloom in Titletown, and the green and gold will be charged up come Sunday. Get ready for another edition of Locker Room. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Locker Room right here in the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant. Well, Green Bay is officially past the halfway point of the season, and though everything hasn't really gone the way the green and gold wanted to, they can still salvage the rest of the way with a win starting on Sunday against the Los Angeles Chargers. Here to talk about that and all things in the green and gold, former Packer running back and coach and three-time Super Bowl champion, Harry Sidney, everyone.
Hello there. How we doing? How we doing?
You don't get any, I think moral victories was the theme from Matt LaFleur after that loss against Pittsburgh, but signs of progress, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a moral victory, but you get little wins because you see improvement in certain areas. All of a sudden, there for a while they couldn't score in the first half. Now they scored in the first half, and you have nice plays, you're matching drives, so there's a lot of positive.
Well, and it seemed like we would have a shootout on our hands the way things went, but Pittsburgh goes right down the field, exactly in the manner that a Mike Tomlin team would. They ran the football, little dink and dunk passes. I mean, Kenny Pickett was not very impressive, but their offensive line did the job, and Najee Harris scores a touchdown. Tit for tat, though, Green Bay goes right back down the field. And how about Romeo Doubs again, getting the feet down for the touchdown?
Well, that's the thing, and he's so nice because he's a hand catcher.
Yes.
He can snatch it out the air, good footwork. I mean, and Love was a great throw, so there was a lot of nice things that happened on that one play, on that drive, because like you said, Pittsburgh took it down, and he's like, you know what? If you're not going to do anything about it, we're just going to run it down your throat.
Right, and the Steelers then would do that on the very next possession. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and there was a little bit of a lull. They would add a field goal, and then Green Bay again. Jaden Reed right now, biggest surprise as a rookie, I would say, out of the entire group. Whether it's the tight ends, we get it. Lucas Van Ness is starting to get more playing time, but this kid can play.
Well, I think this kid is making the plays because he's in the right position to make the plays. The slot guy, running away from people. And, all of them are very athletic and get their feet down, but his ability to understand what the quarterback is looking for him to do.
Special teams, though, blocked extra point, came back to haunt him in the end.
Well, you can't, just because you're on special teams doesn't mean that you can relax.
Right.
It's not that time, I can take a couple seconds off, because all it takes is a guy not doing what he needs to do to change the whole course of the game.
Well, and overloading that one side, that's kind of what they did. Josiah DeGuara had to make a decision. Unfortunately, neither one of them are right.
Well, the thing about it, because unfortunately I've played that position, where you have to make sure it's all about timing, but you got to go inside out first.
Right.
Because if you go outside, you see a guy skinny jumpers over, and that's the quickest way to block the kick. So you got to take care, and he was hesitant. All it takes is that long.
Yeah, shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line, that's for sure. Now, in the second half, neither team would find the end zone, but Pittsburgh ended up consistently making more plays. Jordan Love, he had the 2 interceptions late, but he kind of had to go for it because they needed a touchdown instead of a field goal to tie.
No. In those interceptions, that one interception that he threw to the receiver on the left-hand side, Watson, you're trying to make a play.
Yeah.
And, but you see that, and you also see other times like Aaron Jones, and this is the unfortunate thing about what's going on. Because they're behind at different times, guys like a veteran like that is trying to make something happen.
Yes.
Trying to make something, trying to maybe do more than you need to do.
Right.
And that's what that athlete in them do. So I understand maybe you shouldn't have thrown it to Watson, because you seem that when you throw it to him, bad things happen, or there's different expectations. Like you said, Dobbs or Reed, they need to be maybe more of the featured a little bit.
Well, and like you mentioned, Jones needs to go out, just sacrifice it, get out of bounds, save that 20 seconds to fight another day instead of gaining 1 yard maybe, I think he had on.
Yeah, but that's that pressure of somebody has to make something happen.
To do it.
We hear about Jones. He's the guy. He didn't have really a good game rushing. I think he only averaged 2.6, so
Right.
he had an opportunity to try to make something happen.
Yeah, definitely a tale of two different stories there
Yes.
between
Yeah.
them running the football and the Packers' inability to get something going. They did, however, do it one time, and that is time for our U.S. Cellular call of the game. Midway through the second quarter, and down 17-7, the Packers pulled both John Runyon and Zach Tom,
Nice.
and they paved the way for A.J. Dillon's biggest run of the year. Good for 40 yards and a little high stepping at the end of the play. That would lead to a touchdown to make it 17-13. A.J. Dillon's 40-yard scamper, our U.S. Cellular call of the game. Reminding me of Washington back in the 80s with the old counter trade.
Counter trade. And that's a play just like that wide check middle to the tight end scored. That's a play that's in there, and that's where LaFleur, I think, has to call more of those. The only difference is, Dillon did a heck of a job. No disrespect, he's a big guy running 40 yards, incredible. But I love to see Jones in that play.
He doesn't get caught. He probably doesn't get caught.
I love to see that, and that's where you can run the right plays. We've got to make sure the right guys are running those plays because you're not going to run them all day.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to hit it.
All right, one guy who knows something about hitting is our special player guest tonight. Packers linebacker Isaiah McDuffie is in the house. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Locker Room right here in the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. Please welcome Packers linebacker Isaiah McDuffie, everyone. Yes, you can keep clapping for him.
Keep clapping, you keep clapping. Yeah.
I think everybody was so enamored with that guy in the crowd's beard, and we were just looking at him for a second like, holy cow. He's maybe the only one with a better beard than you.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yes. Definitely.
You've had No Shave November for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so how do you feel about the team right now? Obviously, there he is right there. We just saw another shot of him. You guys have been working on it since July. I just started mine.
I can't start mine, man.
You don't? Just the goatee only?
No, that's as far as it can get.
All right. But look, how do you guys look at this? I mean, I know Matt LaFleur said there's no moral victories. We've talked about it, but there's progress being made, right? Do you guys feel good about that at least?
Yeah, I would say so. We're at the second half of our season. We have a lot more football to be played, and, we feel like we're getting better every week, so we just got to keep continuing doing that.
We're saying that, you last week 10 tackles. What's the key to, because when you're out there, you seem to be around the ball a lot. What's your key?
Honestly, just trying to fly around, preparation, watch film all week, try to be ahead of plays, and, when I get the opportunity, just make the plays that come to me.
Yeah, and you know what? You get the opportunity on special teams, and you've proven yourself over the past 3 years for sure there.
Yep.
But when you get regular playing time, when a guy is definitely out and there's a stretch where it isn't just one game here or one game there, you can kind of get into a rhythm, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Like any opportunity I get, I kind of just try to take advantage of it. That's starting it, that's playing special teams. Any opportunity, and again, like you're saying, anytime you get a chance to be in for more than one game and kind of get in a rhythm, I feel like, you get more of a feel and be able to play faster.
And with saying that, as when you look at the game of linebackers, you got linebackers 6'4" and 240. I would be about 230. What's your strength? What separates you from other linebackers?
Me, I think just my effort. My physicality. Try to be violent. At the point of attack. Just speed. I don't know. I just try to, like you're saying, I'm always trying to find the ball, get on the tackles.
Yeah, I like to use the phrase a guy who's a thumper. Yeah. And you definitely fit that mode and that model. That doesn't mean you're not an athlete. That means that you lay the lumber to the running backs when they're coming through that hole.
With saying that, and we talked about it earlier, with you being a thumper and coming through and fast, with all the different rule changes on how you can hit guys, how does that go into your head as you're coming through and all of a sudden you got to decide whether the guy's going 3 inches or 6 inches? That's got to be tough.
Yeah, it is tough. Again, just strike zone tackling. Honestly, something we practice, something we preach, and, at the end of the day, you can't really hit a guy too hard anymore. You just got to get him down to the ground. That's kind of mentality,
It's kind of, I guess not depressing isn't the right word, but they've taken that element of the game out of football, hasn't it? And it really has affected how guys go after the quarterback. We get it. Helmet to helmet, not allowed. You can't launch yourself at somebody. But a good, hardcore, honest tackle, some guys are getting fined thousands of dollars. And for somebody like you, I mean, not everyone's a first-round draft pick making $10 million a year. So I mean, $20,000 is a lot of money to even you guys.
Especially when you see a guy get fined. I saw a running back get fined $20,000 for lead blocking on the goal line. And I go, I didn't know what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, just kind of, you know, trying to take that out of the game. Kind of just got to adapt. Honestly, that's the best way to describe it. You just got to adapt with the new times.
How has the game changed, I guess, from college to pros? I know there's a lot talked about, whether it's the nickel defense and the prolific passers in this league and having so many unbelievable wide receivers. I mean, the linebacking core is smaller as a whole. It's harder to make a roster now, isn't it?
Definitely. At the end of the day, you kind of just got to do what do what you got to do. That's practice. If it's, you know, going out there and executing whatever you can to get on the field. You know, if that's camp, if that's practice, you know.
With saying that you're a special teams guy, now you're thrown into the starting guy. How do you divvy up your time? Because you know, because special teams means a lot, and now you're the starting linebacker. That means a lot too. So how do you divvy up your time?
It's preparation. You know, definitely got to study at home. You know, you got to watch tape. When you leave the facility, you can't be be done with it. You know what I mean? You got to bring the iPad home, watch tape, and you know, just kind of go over the game plan.
Football in the NFL has become a full-time job, year-round, all the time. There is no, hey, I'll get in shape for training camp.
No, the difference is it's become a full-time job for the players. For coaches, it was always a full-time job.
Right. Well, you remember that.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, man.
You remember that. I know.
Coaches never leave. Players leave.
Hey, are you trying to say something?
No, I'm just letting you know, man. I'm just saying something. That's all.
All right, we're going to take a break right here, and we'll have our keys to the game coming up. We'll go in the zone with Kyle Malzahn. He was the guy doing that. Cam is there. He's been doing it for so long. Plus, it's time now for Easy Tab Fan Cam. Hey, everybody, how we doing over there? Looking good.
Look at
we'll have that coming up after the break.
Look at him.
Welcome back to Locker Room right here inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant. Our special guest tonight is Isaiah McDuffie. Have you seen anything on tape about the Chargers offense that you go, wow? I think us as fans, we go, yeah, Justin Herbert can throw. Keenan Allen's having a heck of a year. Austin Eckler's a good player, but Josh Kelly and Nick, they seem to be hit or miss, don't they?
Yeah, they're an explosive group. You know, they can definitely make plays on offense, and that's kind of what we're going to try to do, kind of try to limit those big play opportunities and, you know, play collective defense.
You know, when you say eliminate that, you often hear defense say stay ahead of the change. Defensively, what's the mindset of a linebacker, the defense, when you go through that?
Kind of like preparation-wise?
Yes,
yes. Okay. Kind of watch first and second down. You know, that's kind of where we start. Kind of break down their tendencies, what they like to do. You know, if they're going to run, pass with personnels. If they're 11 team, 12 team, kind of mix personnels in there. You know what I mean? And then the next day, kind of break down the third down. And after that, kind of like short yardage, goal line. So it's a progression weekly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. And when you look at their schedule, they beat the teams that they probably should, and they've lost to some pretty quality teams like the Chiefs and the Lions and the Cowboys. So it should be an interesting matchup. At least it's November, and another team from Los Angeles and California is coming out here. Hopefully that temperature drops a little bit more.
Little breeze.
I hope it's nice and cold.
Cold and breezy.
Exactly. All right, each week we have a segment where we go in the locker room, and that's what we're going to do right now. Presented by Oneida Nation, In the Zone with Cam Izair.
Here with Packers kicker Anders Carlson. Anders, I'm just curious, how'd you even get into kicking?
So I was a soccer guy like most kickers, and saw my older brother transition and get a scholarship, and so I wanted to play D1 football. I was good at soccer, but not that good, so I was probably going to play at a small school, so found my way to football and then found my way to Auburn.
Would you credit not just your success, but your love for the game and then your continued success, would you credit that a lot to your brother?
Yeah, absolutely. Both brothers. I have two older brothers. Just playing sports and being competitive was a huge thing for us, and I think it's it's paid off, and it's what gives me my drive to want to be good.
You know, outside of, you know, the mental hurdle of going out there and kind of being by yourself, what do you enjoy the most about it?
Of kicking itself?
Kicking,
yeah. I do love just – it is kind of different. It is very much by yourself. It's kind of a mirror game. So those who love golf, and I love golf, it's kind of the same thing. It's you versus the hole, me versus the post kind of. So I love it, but you also get the team aspect. I still got a snapper and a holder, and I got all my teammates, so we can still get to hang out, but it is pretty individualized for sure.
So in terms of hobbies, you would say golf, any other things that interest you?
Anything, any sport. I'm a competitive guy. Any board game. Me and my wife play weed tennis sometimes, so it's all of it.
You beat her?
Oh, yeah. Every time. Every time.
No contest
Give her
there, right?
set, but no, always beat her.
So at Auburn, what did you learn the most about yourself?
I think I learned a lot on and off the field. I think Auburn's very special. You learn to be an Auburn man. We got one right there, Colby Wooden. He's all right. But no, you learn to be a man, and then on the field you learn a lot too. I think my redshirt year, just learning to be a college football player for my brother, and then as I went through my time, just learned different things about me and how I want to kick and my style.
In terms of improvements, how do you feel like you've improved? I mean, this is your rookie year, so you're still learning, but how do you feel like you've improved in the kicking game?
I think just being smarter. I think in the NFL, you're around elite guys that are going to do their job, and the guys up front have done a great job, and long snapper holder done a great job. So for me, it's about being smart with my ball and what ball I'm playing with. So wind, situations, kickoff, even stuff like that, you got to be smart. So I think that's the biggest improvement.
All right, thanks, fellas. That was the big concern. We're getting a guy from the SEC. Is he going to be able to kick in the cold weather? We'll find out.
Well, we'll find out, but, you know, my thing is the kicker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's a kicker. Kick the ball.
Kick the ball.
Just kick the ball.
Kick the ball and do your job.
That's all you can do. Kick the ball. Ain't nobody going to hit you. Kick the ball. That's all.
They will. Sometimes they do, though.
Sometimes, but still got to kick it.
The worst thing, and you probably, because you're out there for these, when it's a big return and you see the kicker's the only guy left and punter, they're backpedaling and trying to chop those feet.
Try to get him down.
Just do anything, dive at their
try
ankles.
to get him down.
Whatever
Yeah,
you
do
can
something.
do. All right, when we come back, it's time to wrap up the show. We'll have our keys to the game and plenty more with Packers linebacker Isaiah McDuffie coming up after the break. Welcome back to Locker Room. We have Brian and Brenda Retzlaff from Clintonville enjoying our best seats in the house courtesy of Viper Industrial.
Great job.
Yep.
Good job.
Gives you good lumbar support. We've
go.
got them up here.
You got to have it.
That's right. All right, as we get into the second half of the season, do you guys still look at it as certain quarters of the year? I know it's a 17-game schedule, so it can't be exactly 4 games each. But now that you have this stretch, and I know the coaches say don't look too far ahead, but let's look far ahead, at least for a little bit. You got the Chargers, then a road trip shorty on Thanksgiving Day to Detroit.
Yep.
Then you got the Chiefs coming to town. This is a tough 3-game deal here, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, like trying to take it one day at a time. That's kind of the mindset I have, kind of the team has. For us, honestly, every game's kind of like a playoff game.
Right.
It's we're in a must-win situation, and we feel like try not look too much ahead and try to win one game at a time.
With saying that, how hard is it not to put more pressure on yourself opposed to just going out there and playing? I know you're supposed to do.
Yeah, just again, just kind of just have a screw it mindset. Just go out there, let's just get the job done. We're getting better every week. Have a good week of practice, and let's just go out there and ball out.
Right. Well, and I know the GM, Brian Gutekunst, was asked last week or 2 weeks ago at the trade deadline, do teams tank? Some guys can't, because you're putting stuff on tape, not only to have a job next year, either here or maybe somewhere else. You just never know, right?
Oh, yeah, that's not in my vocabulary.
Right. And that's probably that's all 53 guys.
Exactly.
You can't afford to look ahead.
Yeah.
You can't look ahead. So with that saying, this week, what's the keys to victory?
For us, honestly, just out-compete, out-physical them. Win the turnover battle, get some turnovers on defense, get the ball in our offensive hands, and have them go down and score.
I see what you did there, Harry.
Yeah,
it's time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by the dispensary. Contain Keenan Allen, that's definitely one of them. And a couple little things. Finish in the red zone, limit mistakes, especially on special teams. Should be fun. He's Packers linebacker Isaiah McDuffie. For Harry Sidney, I'm Burt Griffin. Thanks for watching Locker Room.
Thank you for watching Locker Room.